All right. So that's sort of the intro spiel. What we love to cover. I've been sort of really going off the deep end recently about this report, and I know some people are repeat visitors on this call, so this will be a little redundant. You got to bear with me, but I'm going to send this to you after the fact in an email. But there's two big reports, okay? And you guys are in an industry where there's not a whole heck of a lot of reports, so you got to pay attention to the ones that do come out. This one's by Art Basel and UBS. The other one's by this big insurer called the Hiscox Group. And they come out with a report on a yearly basis, and they talk about all the trends and everything else. I'm going to send this to you. I just want you to read it later, but I'm going to send it to you. But just they have two things on this page, and I'm going to send you the key findings, like if you don't want to go all the way into the weeds, or the full report. But just to give you an instance, this is the table of contents on it, which I really like, which is the global art market. Here, I'll make it full screen so you guys can see it. The global art market in 2020, dealer sales, auction sales, art fairs, online sales, global wealth and collector perspectives, the economic impact and conclusions. It's really. Oh, I thought I had it full screen. Anyway, it's really cool. It's a great report, and I think some of the insights in it are super fascinating. I think you should check it out. The one that I keep ranting on and I won't shut up about is that there are 3 ways to sell art, and every one of you needs to be aware of all 3 of them, and every one of you needs to be participating in all 3 of them. And every artist and photographer out there, from never sold one single solitary piece, even to the biggest of the big, which is like, what's often in that report, are all trying to figure it all out at once. Way number 1, oldest one, in person, face to face, best way to sell art, always has been, always will be, right? There's nothing better than in person, face to face. You have to have a website because we are all geographically fixed on this planet. You have to sleep. You can't have 15 conversations at once unless you're my wife. So you have to have a website, okay? In between these two is the new frontier, okay? And it's exactly what we're doing right now. It is leveraging video in either one-to-one, so meaning you and one other person on the video call, or one-to-many, whether it's in a Zoom call, whether it's a live art show, whatever it might be. It's sort of the new front. It's sort of the future of selling art. And look, video is not new. I get it, okay? Been around for a long time. But the pandemic, or London, there's ones for you, the pandemic has ushered in every single solitary one of us, okay, all knowing what Zoom calls are, all getting on Zoom calls all the time, all talking on Zoom all the time. So this has become the new norm. And, I would even zoom out as far to say it is going to fundamentally change the way that we live our lives, not just as you guys as artists and photographers, not just as me, a digital marketer, but, there are just too many experiences where, why do I want to go to your website? That's boring. That's passive, right? If you owned a store and I came in, would you ignore me? Because that's what a website is. You're just passive, nothing, right? And if I walked into a store and I didn't have any help versus I walked into a store and I had help, which is going to be the better experience for me? Moreover, what is going to be the more efficient experience, and which experience am I probably going to spend more money on, right? I'm going to spend more money on the one where I have a live interaction with another person. And the reason I mentioned this report is, and again, I always give the disclaimer that, these reports are the snootiest of the snootiest, right? Like the biggest, art selling fairs, high net worth individual, hoity toity, whatever you want to call it. They're the professionals, right? If I can use a sports analogy, and the rest of you guys are amateurs or trying to become professionals. So you have to take it with a grain of salt. But when you read this report, what you realize is that the pandemic hit, okay, and 2 things happened. One, a whole tremendous amount of the available venues in which you might purchase art or photography disappeared overnight. The art galleries closed, the show and fair circuit gone, vamoose, right? Then, in addition to that, you had this other situation going on where everyone was working from home. Everyone was at home, and they're finally looking around at their boring white walls, and they're like, I'm actually in my house enough that I need to do something about this. And so what happened is you had an increased demand for art, okay, for a whole bunch of different reasons. How many people moved out of the cities to bigger houses in the suburbs? Massively, right? And then you had a supply that wasn't quite the size that it was. And so if you understood digital marketing, if you understood how to get to attention, if you understood this new component called live art shows, you absolutely thrived in 2020. It was the biggest year your business has ever seen. And I saw that a tremendous amount of times. I mean, if you had the ability to understand marketing, to be able to have an audience, to have an email list, if you've been doing the digital marketing the way that you should have. And it's quite literally like the analogy I give is like everyone's seen Forrest Gump, right? So what happens? Forrest Gump is, the storm's coming in. Everyone bundles their boats up on the shore, and he's like, no, I'm going out, right? And he's out there in the middle of the ocean, and him and Lieutenant Dan weather the storm. And what happens to all the boats in the harbor? They all just get obliterated. And that's what the pandemic did. I mean, I have talked to so many people week in, week out, had great businesses, were doing fantastic, massive gallery sales. The show and fair circuit was incredible. What happens? That thing came in, wiped everyone out. Unless you were Forrest Gump, i.e. doing your digital marketing, had an email list, had attention you could market to, you had nowhere to sell. In many cases, you still don't have anywhere to sell. Where the heck are you going to go, right? And I look at, everyone thinks we get pigeonholed into a website company, okay? Now you know you can't pigeonhole us into a website company because I just said I hate the website experience. I think it's garbage. I think it's the last thing that you want to do. It doesn't mean you don't have to have one. You absolutely have to have one, but it should be the last resort when you can't do the other two, when you can't do face-to-face, when you can't do via video, then your website comes in and picks up the slack. So where was I going with that rant? Oh, so yeah, the shows in Fair Circuit. We love the show in Fair Circuit, okay? Now, many of you guys have been doing this for many years. You did not realize how to properly get the best ROI out of the show in Fair Circuit, and that's not your fault. You just didn't realize you had to be capturing emails like it was going out of style. Many of you didn't do that, fine, whatever. But when that thing comes back, fantastic. But if you look at the economics of a show in Fair Circuit and you talk to anybody that's been doing that for a long period of time, like that model doesn't pencil at the best of times every single solitary show. You can do a show and have a bad show, right? Okay. Now do that with 40, 50, maybe if you're lucky, 60% attendance. Okay, people are going to be gun shy for the next year, probably a year and a half. What if there's another outbreak, Lord knows what? So I think my point in this whole rant, and then we'll get into the Q&A, is there is a new way to sell art. It's the old way to sell art. Is it potentially just that you understand you have to sell direct? Okay, you have to sell direct. You have to be selling in person. You have to embrace this new video selling, which we'll get into in some more detail. You have to have a website, and you have to be keeping the data on your customers. And if I look at this like next period of whatever it is to get out of this dumpster fire of a situation we're in, you've got to be digital marketing. If you're not digital marketing and you're not building an email list, and you're not building social followers, and you're not building the ability to reach people and get your art, your photography in front of people's eyeballs, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? Like what's even available, right? It's just an interesting time that we live in, okay? And I like to bang the drum about the things that you need to get started on right now. Not a single solitary one of you on this call, none of you have a website problem. You don't. You all have an attention problem. You can't even have a website problem until you have an attention problem because no one's seeing the website. No one's seeing the website. You all have a marketing problem. Every single solitary customer we have has a marketing problem. There's this social scientist slash PhD. I can't remember. I'm hacking his name. I don't even know what his name is. I'm bad with names. But he said this in like the late 70s, early 80s. When we move from an era of information scarcity to information abundance, attention becomes a commodity. And attention is the commodity, right? With attention, you can do anything. I'm embarrassed to say this, but I say this on lots of these calls. Do you know who some of the most powerful people are in the United States? The Kardashians. Okay? Am I embarrassed to say that? Yes, I am. But if any of those plastically, surgically enhanced women would clothes on that are too tight, decide to start painting tomorrow, they would probably sell $10 million with because they just have to put it on their Instagram account and they have that many eyeballs, okay? So I rant about this, but attention is the currency of the land, folks. And with it, you can do anything. Without it, you can't even try and have a website problem without it. So the website is the least of your concerns. So if you're wondering what we do, we teach you to market and sell art. That's it. That's what we do. And the website is the last part of it. All right. Fired up on a Wednesday here. So, okay. How do you raise your hand? If your camera's on, I'll see you. You can do the old school fashion. I'll see that, or someone from my team will see that. If you go to the bottom of the Zoom thing, there's like a participants button, and that'll allow you to digitally raise your hand. You can see Dawn's done it already, and so I can see Dawn's got a question. I will get to Dawn's question. If you don't want to be on camera, do not feel like you need to be on camera. I hate being on camera, okay? I would go all audio if it was my choice. It's not. So you can do audio only if you want. If you want to just throw your questions in the chat, you can do that. If you're one of the ones watching on the socials, because we're streaming this on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, we can answer. Let me see if my little comment thing works. No, wrong one. Hold on. Did it work? You're so good. Oh, look at what? I can actually pull the comments in. Really feeling good about my technology stack today. Okay, thank you for that compliment, Kim. All right, so Dawn, you're up first, and then they're telling me Diana's next, so Diana, you'll be next. Dawn, go ahead. And hold on, Don's been on one before. I just want to make it perfectly clear. Don is not worried that his computer monitor has COVID. He is in a public library right now. Okay, so that's why he's wearing the mask.
You got a good memory, Patrick.
Yes.
Okay?
Selectively. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm going to try and keep it soft because of the library. I don't need to get into this before the sale ends, so can I just schedule a later after the sale, as demo after the sale ends?
Yes, of course.
So just go through it. I mean, I've tried numerous times and it's back and forth, but how do I officially pick a day and a time that'll work for me?
Yeah, we'll make sure whoever your point of contact is reaches out. At the end of the month, things are always just bananas. You can barely even get a word in edgewise with those guys.
Keep it simple to wait until Thursday or Friday or next week. I'm not in a hurry, and I think that'll be best for everybody. And it'd be preferable if I found somebody in the same state at least. So we're on the same
we got a guy in Long Beach, so you're good.
Okay. So Long Beach is perfect. Is that Brian?
Yeah, Brian lives in Long Beach.
Started working on this. It'd be good to continue. And I just want to work with one person to try and bring my gallery into art storefronts.
Yeah.
I'm willing to do all the grunt work, but I'll just work that out with him.
Yep. And I'll be able to visit that gallery one of those days because I still go up to Mammoth any chance I get.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Patrick, because you've helped me a lot. And I love your presentation. I've listened to it twice live and once recorded, and every time I learn something new. So
that's fantastic.
Repeating it.
Wait, what do you think about my new special technology? My little CNN special here. Coming up tonight on Nightly News. No, I'm working on it.
I love that in your new room too. It looks great.
Yeah, I'm in
Very
some hotel lobby of the stock image that I decided to die. I go crazy. I do so many of these things. So if I don't have like a new background to look at, I'm not exactly sure where this lobby is, but you know, I'd stop and have it. I'd stop and have a drink.
Much fun. Pretty soon they're not going to pay you if you keep having so much fun.
I like where your head's at. I'll make sure Brian reaches out next week. Don't worry. And get that mask back on. I don't know if you can trust that computer monitor. You know, we just don't know for sure. Okay. Thanks, Don. Matt G. Sorry. Hold on, Matt G. Hold on. Diana was first. I jumped the line. All right, let me find Diana. Hold on, Diana. All right, Diana, you're up. You'll have to hit the mic icon, bottom left-hand corner. Yep, gotcha.
Okay, you there?
Yep, gotcha.
Can you hear me? Yeah, because I'm on my iPad and
No, it's
I
working.
accidentally dropped it last night, so I wanted to make sure it was working right.
The iPad's actually like the cameras and the mics on the Apple products are so superior to the PC ones. You actually sound and look great. It's working perfect.
Okay, good, because I was hoping that my dropping it didn't just completely destroy it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess a couple questions.
Yes.
So I mean, obviously I have a current website that's not interactive with anybody, I need to do this. I understand this. I actually had the thought of doing some video art shows last year during the pandemic time, but I just never could figure it out.
Yep.
So I have, kind of two different businesses. I have my art business and then I have my photography business.
Service-based business.
Yeah. Yeah. So I specialize in underwater fine art. So I create underwater images and do fine art on them. Some of them are printed more than once. And some of them I do additional painting on, which would be, just an individual, like a original piece, right?
Yeah. I love it.
So, and then I do individual clients who come and have their own underwater session done to create their own piece, but that piece is not for sale to anyone else. It's just to them.
Okay. I'm just color me curious. Are you doing underwater sessions in the water, like scuba diving? Or are we doing it in the pool, or what are we talking about here?
In the pool. So I set up my pool like a photo studio. I have a scrim that floats across the water to filter the sunlight, like a giant softbox in the studio. Wow. I have underwater lights. I have, big underwater housing for my camera.
Yeah.
So I set it up. I do backdrops in there. I do fabrics in there. It's Diana Marie Fine Art.
I totally want to see this. Juan, get this website. This is the most genius. Wait, so I could book you for an underwater like family portrait?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that's classic. I would
Yeah.
totally
Yeah.
do that. That is just a
Yeah.
Christmas card
Yeah.
winner right there.
There we go. And
Oh,
I'm
I
in
love it.
Houston, so you're in Austin, right? So I'm close to you. You could come down to Houston. But yeah, I've done that. I've done families. I have a family that has a big metal underwater portrait that's hanging on their wall. They love it. You know, I've done, you know, all kind of things. And so my question is that one of my questions is that do I keep, because I've had different people advise me in different ways. You know, I had my regular website, and a couple of years ago, I decided I really wanted to sell my art in galleries. So I created another website for my fine art. And it was Diana's Photography, Diana Marie Fine Art. I've just combined it under one name now. So just
Smart.
less confusing.
Smart.
So everything is Diana Marie Fine Art. But I recently had someone in the photography world said you should get your fine art on a separate site again. I combined those two sites because I wasn't managing it well.
Is that person just out of curiosity selling a lot of work themselves?
Yes, a really good photographer in Florida. He does a lot of high-end portraits, sells for $5,000, $6,000, you know, but he does three things: black and white, his beach, you know, family portraits with painting on them, and then, you know, fine art studio. And he's got his marketing niche down, you know, I mean, he's very successful. And he said, I think if you put your art for sale on there, people are going to be confused if they are an art client, if you know, one of your private clients. I don't know really where to go with that, because I right now have
I can tell you, Don. I mean, all due respect and deference to that individual who's probably figured something out in terms of marketing, is doing great. But I have zero patience for the Chicken Little. The sky is falling, the sky is falling, the sky is falling, right? And so what is it in this instance? You know, if you put that on there, people are going to get confused. Okay, well, it's on there now. Has anybody written you an email and said I'm confused?
No, because I just recently changed over my website to where I have now, and I haven't turned on my store yet.
Yeah.
So if I had a piece selling, you know, if I had a piece that I was going to sell over and over and over again, the price point would be different than a custom piece, right?
Yes.
Because, you know, I might sell it for $1,100, but I might sell a custom piece for, you know, $5,100 or whatever, you know. So it's different because I had a model come shoot,
all of it
needs to be
all of it needs to be on one website. All of it.
Okay.
Because look, again, you know, oh, this is so cool. The commodity is attention, right? And so, you know, you want to capitalize as much attention as possible. That's number one. Number two, okay. And I can't talk and like look at this at the same time. I think this is an incredibly remarkable niche. I've never seen anything like it. I think it's absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
You know, number two, everyone thinks in today's day and age that you know, the brand is whatever. Oh, she's the underwater photography gal, right? But it's only 50% of it. The other 50% of it is you. Okay, it's you, and you're just as important as any other aspect of the brand. And the last thing that you want to do is, here is this huge segment of people that know, like, and trust you because you took these incredible photos that everyone talks about in the water, in the pool. Okay, and you're not going to let these people know that you sell fine art as well? Are you kidding? Absolutely not. All of it needs to be combined. Trust me, in today's day and age, you do not want to split the attention. You do not want to split the focus. You can split it on a website all day long very easily. I love both aspects of this business. I think this is mega unique. I love this. We can help you. This is a no-brainer for you. I'm going to help you. Sign up. Seriously, sign up. Seriously, sign up. This is a genius freaking niche. And do not tell anyone how you're doing this either. Because I know it took you a while to figure this out, but I've never seen anything like this. I mean, even
it has.
The problem, right? The problem is that the service side of this business is just so sexy, right? But the problem with the service side of the business is you're trading dollars for hours, and you don't want to be doing that forever, and you're probably sick of being in the pool all day. You probably need to get some minions. That's number one. But I think this is a fantastic concept. I'd have to look and see what the fine art is, but yeah, I love this. Amazing.
Yeah, if you look on the other folder, that one's really more clients, but the other folder, what is it? The first one, fine art, the very first one. That's more fine art that I would sell to other people, right? Wow. I mean, it could be for him, that guy, but
the surfboard's on the surface and then he's underwater pushing up against it. Cool.
Right. that image could be either vertical or, I mean, either way, it can flip. I
Yeah.
flipped it actually. Now that would be more personal, but I put it in there with that just so people could see it if they didn't look at the other area.
Oh, this is amazing. I could just imagine, sweetie, I know you're pregnant, but I'm going to need you to hold your breath for a couple of minutes. My wife would have killed
Maternity
me.
underwater is amazing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
Oh,
It's really
this
good.
is really cool. I'm not kidding, Diana. You need to sign up. We are going to help you significantly. Like,
Okay, so that was another question. Is
straight up.
I really would need help. I mean,
Oh, you're the one.
I do need
Everyone does. Trust me.
yeah.
Especially
I
in
mean,
terms of the marketing.
you know, I actually was in a couple galleries for that, and now, you know, of course, they've closed or whatever, this or that. I had my, which you don't see there because I don't have the shop turned on because I was working on it. My lighted art wine bottles were at the Four Seasons downtown, but they closed the gift shop. You know, I had some stuff at a high-end furniture store, but they changed what they're doing now. So I had to go get my art from there. And so I'm like, okay, what do I do with it now? You know?
Yeah.
And I'm tired of carting it all over the place. And I never did like those fairs. I never did that. I didn't want to do that. But
Right.
you know, it's like, where do I go from here? And I don't want to sign up for a site that if I really am, I need somebody who's going to be able to really help me.
Yes.
You know,
it's what we do. It's what we do all year long. You just need to get involved in the marketing and you know, it's same as everyone else, right?
right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Are there some other artists that we could just go look at their site through your platform to just see that how they have it set up?
Yes.
I'm just curious as to what it looks like visually and how it's set up.
Yeah. All
And
our
I know that's probably a personal thing. They're not all set up exactly the same, right? You have
not everyone, but to be honest with you, like, you know, what do most artists like? They come in with this level of experience that says like, you know, ooh, I gotta do a new website and design it the way I want and spend a bunch of time on it and get everything clicking the way that I want it to be, right? Like, absolutely erroneous. Where has that gotten you in the past? Absolutely nowhere. Why? Because all of that design nonsense does not sell any art. All it is a pretty portfolio site. So our sites are very, very simple by design. They're meant to mimic the art buying experience that you would get if you were, you know, walking into a gallery, like white minimalism, everything else. The larger point with it, and we'll send you after this whole thing's over. We'll send you a bunch of links with the ones you can check out. I don't want you spending more than the amount of time it takes to upload your images, write in About Me section, put the logo up there, and that's it. You don't have a website problem. You have a marketing problem, right? And we need to solve it. And the only way we're going to solve it, So
is the list through the website, or would you need a separate constant contact or something like that?
Yeah, we what we do is we advise everyone to use MailChimp, and just because it works and we integrate it, you know, we integrate with it, so it just makes everything very, very easy. But yes.
Okay. All right. So there was one more question I had. Now I can't remember what it is. I don't know. I can't think of what it is. I had another question. I forgot it.
Okay. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry. We're not going anywhere. You can come back and ask. But honestly, those were some of the most unique. You have one of the most unique angles. I've never heard of that. Never seen that. Aside from like the Nirvana, you know, where the baby is like going after the donut and the fish hook. Yeah. Amazing.
Right. Yeah. There's not many people that do what I do underwater to begin with, and then take it to the next level of doing the art that I do on it.
Yes.
So there's a few of us, not many.
Yeah.
So
amazing. Love it. Blown away.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Up next is Matt G, and then it's going to go Dirk, and then I see the questions in the chat. Don't worry, and we'll get it from there. So go ahead, Matt. I muted you. You have to hit the mute bottom left little mic icon. I'll let you know when you get it. And this is Matt G, by the way. Yep, gotcha.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey,
I've got a few questions as well. First couple are about Guten. What percentage of sales through Guten does the artist get?
No, what do you mean? What percentage of sales?
So it's $35 for a bag with a print on it.
Yeah.
So what would I get out of that as the artist?
Whatever the wholesale cost of the item is, minus whatever your markup is.
So they're going to give me a wholesale price. I get to choose a price.
Yes, you set the price on your site, absolutely. But yeah, in terms of you know, we've negotiated, like, there's not the same kind of margins in merch that there is in printing. So you know, like if you were to be Joe Schmo off the street and walk into a print shop, we'll get better pricing than you'll get for that because we could buy in bulk. Merch is a little bit different, so I don't think we get much better than wholesale pricing. So you get the same type of wholesale pricing, and you just mark it up however you want to mark it up. You know, you have to pay for the item. The rest is yours, whatever you want to charge for it.
And is that on like per order, or do I have to get a minimum order quantity or something?
No. That's the beauty. It's POD, baby. Minimums do not exist. Warehousing things do not exist. You get the order, you get paid, they get paid, it gets shipped, they ship it. You don't touch anything.
All right.
Yeah.
And then, did you say you have a sale going on right now?
Yeah, we do. It's the last day of the month. April, what is it in the chat? I can't even keep the doggone deal straight. Are we doing 6 months or something? What are we doing? April put it in the chat, but yeah, it ends today. So the way that it works is if you get, you know, because it's the last day, as long as you get a demo in today, and you can request those on our site, we'll put links all over the place. You can check them out. You're eligible. So even if they can't get back to you till like, you know, Monday or Tuesday after Easter, whatever, you still lock in the pricing. And what happens to you, by the way, on it, when you request a demo, it's like a 10 to 15 minute call where you can get all the questions and the details about plans and pricing and this and that, the other. They'll find out a little bit about you. If you want to schedule the complete demo from there, great. If not a fit, whatever, don't worry. This is like a non-pressure situation. They will never call you again. Don't worry. But that's only if you're interested. If you're not interested, don't feel pressured and put in a demo at all. Like, you know.
I already had a phone call with somebody, so.
Oh, good. Okay.
So I'm eligible for the sale price.
Yeah. All you have to do is just email that person back and say, I want to lock in the sale pricing and, you know, and schedule my demo or whatever.
All right.
Yeah.
And then, are galleries okay to use your platform, or just artists?
Yeah. 100%. You know, I say that with a caveat, right? Like, yes, the technology, there's literally zero difference between the gallery and the artist, right? It's just, there's more artists in there, right? With more galleries. So if you are a gallery, I love the idea. If it's a co-op idea, I don't like that idea as much because I don't see it working all that often. You know, like getting into like the co-op situation is sort of like getting into a marriage with multiple wives. I don't know if you're married, but could you imagine something like that? That'd be very, very difficult to keep everyone happy. So yeah. I don't like it. And, you know, this person didn't do any marketing this week. This person's been doing the marketing for 3 months. This other person is getting sales because this person's doing all the marketing. So as much as I don't like the gallery model in the sense that, you know, the artist doesn't get to keep the contact data of the customers, right? So you can't build a collector list when you're selling through a gallery. I understand it has to exist because otherwise the gallery won't make any money, right? Like they have to guard because that's the biggest resource that they have. So I'm kind of sideways ranting on that. But do you have a gallery? Or are you in a gallery? Tell me what you got there.
So I'm an artist, and I also represent some artists that don't want to mess with any of the digital stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, again, I don't like it. I think it's exploitative. But do you have a 50-50 split with them?
No, I give them more than that.
You give them more of that? Do you give them their customer data?
I would give them whatever, you know, they're my friends. I'm not trying to screw anybody.
Okay. Everyone go and join Matt's gallery. That is the best gallery deal I have ever heard in my entire life. More than a 50-50 split, and you get to keep your customer data, and Matt's doing all the marketing. So game on. Matt, I don't know if you can sustain that business model, but I appreciate you. I got to be honest.
I'm just trying to help out my homies, you know?
For sure. I love it.
So the last question. Mm-hmm. I could bring my own domain at a .com.
No, mandatory. The artist at gallery, whatever, owns everything with us, right? You own the domain. You own the merchant account. You own the entire contact list, all the data, all the everything, right? Like that's how it's got to be. Okay. I mean, technically, you could put it on a subdomain, but yes, we want you to just point your URL to the Art Storefronts install, and then that's what your site becomes, right?
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you. And I do love that you're doing that, and there is some altruism to it, but it's just, you know, yeah, it can be tough. It can be tough. Okay, Dirk, you're up next. Side note one, I realize now that the Zoom is not probably going out on the stream. Can you confirm that it's just my face and not the Zoom? Sorry about that, Dirk. Go ahead.
All right, thanks. Can you hear me, first of all?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. First of all, Diana Marie, yeah, that's an incredible
Wasn't that?
site. Looking at those photos, yeah, that's amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah. And I have a unique situation too here. It's not, I think, quite as esoteric as what we're looking at over there, but I
Okay.
do caricatures. So
Okay.
I guess I've got an information problem where everyone thinks of caricature artists as only being in a theme park and you sit down in front of them for 5 minutes and then you leave and you've got a piece of paper with some scribbles on it.
Yeah.
I have people send me photos and ideas, and
Mhm.
I take a couple of weeks and come up with a personal um, cartoon
Okay.
that people can gift to other people.
Okay.
All right, capture somebody in their hobby, their work, or whatever. So my big problem is, in terms of your business, is you can't grab my thing off the wall and package it up and send it and
Yeah.
do multiple reprints and
Yeah.
make that your deal. So, what do you have to offer someone who's working commissions?
Yeah, we have some incredibly successful commission artists. I forgot I can do my little display so I can pull this up. So, you know, and this is going to be a classic shot because this artist in question, and hold on, I'm getting it ready, and then I'll share it and I'll get myself out of the way. So her name is Allison Cantrell, right? And she's got the double whammy situation going on. And sadly, whether or not you know it, you're in the double whammy situation too. And what do I mean by that? So one of the amazing things about the pet niche is people are so diehard about their animals, I can't even begin to tell you, right? They'll do anything about their animal. There's a flip side to the coin, though. Nobody wants to buy a generic dog photo or a generic that's not their own, right? So you in the character business have that same thing going on where it's like they're not going to get, nobody wants a character of anyone else, right? Within reason,
Exactly,
right?
unless
Like,
it's fan art, maybe.
yeah, within reason, right? Like if you started doing some like really interesting Elon Musk's or you know the star du jour, you might have some runway, but it can absolutely be done successful. This gal's model, I mean, I'm just not without giving away trade secrets. You need to follow this woman. You need to get on this woman's email list, and you see how this woman does this. Allison destroys it, and she does this limited edition commission situation where she only opens up. So click here to learn about customer reports. Let's just look at it. I haven't looked at this in a while, how she's actually doing it. So Bunny Pig offers exquisite custom portraiture, warm dry list, probably counted. So I think the way that she does it is she only opens it up, okay, for a very short period of time and makes it like super limited edition. And my goodness, does she sell a tremendous amount of these things. She's incredible with what she does on these things. So I would follow her what she does, but the same problem she has the one you have, marketing problem, right?
Yep,
Marketing
yep,
problem,
yep.
and you know you're also getting whacked from the just about any site you want where you can upload your photo and have somebody for $5 tune you up like a social media caricature, right? Like now nowhere near as
Right.
good as yours, but
Most of them go into India too.
yeah, I mean, oh yeah, or
Yeah.
or Lord only knows, probably done by a piece of computer software in today's day and age.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's a thing. That's a thing that we would need to address. But yeah, you've got marketing issues, and I would, every individual niche of this business has its ups and its downs, right? Like it has its positives and it has its negatives. For you, I mean, talk about a great Mother's Day gift, talk about a great Father's Day gift, like family portraits. Like there's a whole bunch of things that are awesome that only apply to you. But again, selling the prints would be a hard one of it. But you could do some funny things, and I think the merch could be a cool aspect of it for you too, right? Like putting those various different things, portraitures on different things, whether it's the coffee cup. I got a bunch of it over here. I don't want to pull it out, or the iPhone case, right? Like having a character. So. Do you know what my wife would do? My wife would go to your website. She would get a portrait of herself. She would have you put love of my life underneath it. And then she would order the iPhone case and make me put my phone in it. Okay. Day in, day out. That's what she would do. So you could get some creative, right? Because I do want you to have additional revenue opportunities rather than just the commission pieces, right? Because the commission pieces is just, trading dollars for hours. And the other thing I would say too is that, Allison, right? She was ready to call it quits not too long ago, quit the holy game of poker. And she just got so sick and tired of having to paint these individual things over and over and over again. She's like, I can't handle it. She's like, I can't handle it anymore. I think I'm going to quit. And the CEO and I actually called her and we're like, Allison, under no circumstances can you quit. Do you realize how significant of a business do you have here? So what has she done since? She started training minions. And it like, I kind of think of like the sculptor analogy, that like one person, cracks the thing out of marble a little bit rough, and then somebody goes in and finishes it. She's done that now, and it's like 2x to 3x her production, right? So you get one of these machines spun up and working. The last thing you want to do is quit it. So that's on Allison's side of things. So you got to sort the marketing, right? Like that's the long and the short.
Two more quick questions here, if I could quickly.
Absolutely, please.
As far as the marketing is concerned,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little unclear. Do I get an instruction sheet from you that says this week do this, this week do that, or
it's a full blown art marketing university, straight up.
Is it turnkey, or I still going to be spending 8 hours
No, you're not going to be spending 8 hours.
Facebook.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do the work, and you're gonna have to learn. But we teach you, and it's like a full blown university experience. And I'm not kidding. We have
Instagram, Facebook,
what we call
MailChimp.
everything. We have what we call our playbooks, which are step-by-step tactical guides to all the various different things that we need you to learn. And then we have a calendar that tells you what to do 365 days a year. Most people follow it near verbatim: when to have sales, what to do this. Here's what we're doing this week. And then we have Zoom sessions, which can be thought of as the class, like this, on a week in, week out basis, every single solitary week, where we teach the thing and you do Q&A and you learn like we're learning now, right? And the combination of that stretched out over time is what sort of develops, the muscles that it takes to get this all done. And then look, now that I've got all my interactive buttons, I can even pull in the Facebook comments, which is caricature guy. You could make a killing doing celebrity characters too. Commission the personal ones. Have the other ones for prints. I would take advice from Kim, because this is a woman that she's the Mother's Day specialist. Her biggest day of the year is coming up. Love that, Kim. Good advice.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that your background there, I have stayed in that Howard Johnson's, by the way.
Get out of here. Really? Where is it? That would be hilarious.
I don't know. I'm just saying that is not undoubtedly a Howard Johnson's from 1984.
Oh, it looks great. I would have. I mean, the whole bar in the background. I don't even know what you call this. Is it like mid-century modern something or other? I don't know, but I dig it.
Thanks for your help.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, good session today so far. I'm enjoying this. I don't know. Yeah, Don. Yes, you can lock in the thing. Just put in the demo and say, I want the deal. Right. If you want to know when it's launched. Oh yeah, Matt G's a golf artist. So anyone that's got golf going on, check it out. Okay, I appreciate what Matt is saying. What if there was a way to have an artist visit the website if they sold? Oh, wait, hold on. I can do this. So I appreciate what Matt is saying. What if there was a way to have an artist visit the website if they sold and liked the platform? Maybe they would decide to do their own website. Maybe that program. Yes, okay-ish, Terry, but you don't have to think about those things in the short term. Go ahead and get something like that going, and then worry about it, right? I wouldn't stress about that in the short term. Yeah, MailChimp has a free plan, Terry. Thank you for liking my work. Yeah, you were the hit of today, Diana. That works insane. Yeah. Okay. What else, guys? Questions? Anyone else that's on here? Oh, Hiroko, you had an Instagram question that I didn't fully understand. I'm going to unmute you, Hiroko, if you're there. And you'll have to hit the microphone icon on the bottom left. Are you there, Hiroko?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I've got you.
Good.
So you had questions about Instagram? What specifically?
Yeah. You mentioned that if you have an Instagram account, you can do the sales. And I never attempted to do any of that, but I am interested to know more about it.
Yeah, so I think what we're talking about are the live art shows. So what you can do if you have an Instagram account with followers, or Facebook for that matter, or YouTube for that matter, is you can use your phone, turn it on, and go live and have a live art show and do the sales that way. And so that's probably what I was recommending there.
Okay, that sounds very good, because I have set up my basement or a nice gallery.
Oh, awesome!
So maybe I can do something about that.
Oh,
I guess.
100% you can do it. Like I'll show you 2 examples right now. Let me just get them pulled
I
up.
can't see you for some reason. Let's see. Where do I go back? I can close this out.
I know it gets confusing. Hold on.
Oh, here it
I've got
is.
them queued
Yeah,
up.
I can see you now.
Okay, so this one, all right, and this is my buddy Matthew Laka, and he is a painter in Laval, which is in Quebec in Canada, and this is where he paints. It's his garage, right? And he ran a live art show out of here, so this is what you're seeing in the background that he's doing right now. And you know, not to get too into the weeds, but let me so this is on YouTube, what we're watching here, right? It also streamed to Facebook. And then if you look closely, you can see he's got his earbuds in. And so he's got his phone, okay? His phone set up here, and then he's got a computer that's helping him get onto the other 2, and he's streaming all 3 of them at once. In this particular instance, he sold over a 15-day period in 2 of these shows. He sold 64 pieces for over $30,000 Canadian. Last week, literally, this gal. Sorry,
and let me know that you can hear me.
Let me mute the audio. This is quite literally, I can't make it bigger. It's going to break my little thing. But this is quite literally in her basement. She's an artist in Kansas City, and this was a live art show that she ran. Again, same instance on Instagram, also on Facebook at the same time. And she did significantly well too. And she sold over 60 pieces as well. I think even maybe even into the 70s already. And for her, this was just excess inventory that she was clearing out. So it's 100% possible to do. Oh, was my head blocking that the whole time? Sorry if it was. It's 100% possible to do, and it's just an amazing new way to sell art. So you could absolutely do it, Hiroka. And by the way, I'm reading a book by a Japanese author right now, and so I'm just seeing Japanese names all day long. So when I saw yours, I was like, oh wow, what's that?
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. All right, so we got another one in the chat. Hold on. Do you help with advice to get good pictures of the work? Ooh, I love this one, Nicole. I love this one. So I'm going to send you an article. The article will dictate all of the best ways of getting your work photographed for reproduction. We have a guy that's done it for Sotheby's and did it as a career for a number of years, and he wrote like a really, really good article on how to photograph your work. So I would check that out, and I think you'll like it. Yeah, see, London, I'm telling you, the live art show is a deal. Okay, good. You can see April just put it in the chat right there. We'll email it to you after the fact too. But that article is a great sort of little like primer starting point. And you know, it's funny because we have that guy who wrote it doing like a full video series on it too, because you know it's a legit question. How do you get your work photographed? Now, obviously, this applies to artists, not photographers. The photographers are sorted. So yeah. I'm just scrolling through the chat here. Exactly, Stephen. If you guys have any other questions, just let me know. Raise your hand so you can put them in the chat. Otherwise, we can wrap things up. Okay, so I get a follow-up email after a 10-minute call, but I can't tell the difference between the levels of costs and sites. I can't either, Nicole. When you get the 10-minute call, they'll explain all that after the 10-minute call. Did you get the 10-minute call and you couldn't figure out how to do it? Yeah. You did already. And you still don't understand? Nicole, even after all that? I'm going to unmute you. Hold on. Let me find you. Okay, Nicole, you're unmuted.
Hey.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, I had the 10-minute call, and he said he was going to follow up with sending me an email with a bunch of websites to show me that. But it didn't say like this one cost this much and this one cost this much. It just was random websites that I looked at, and they were great. They were gorgeous. But like I said, I don't know. I still didn't know what the difference was.
Yeah, so the differences are, and you know, I stay out of their world because like if you ever worked inside of a company and there's like marketing and there's like the sales staff and you say something that's out of whack, the sales, like it could be the smallest nonsensical thing ever, and I'll get like it's like you know, an office space when Lumberg comes by your desk like 25 times to fill out the TPS reports. If you mess up one thing, those sales guys like just constantly come and harass you. The biggest difference between the packages are twofold. One, there's a couple of features on the website, the live preview with AR, and maybe one other one that I lead capture. I don't know. There's like some feature difference, but other than that, the people that spend the more money are just getting 5-year deals. They get a break if they do the bigger deals. And the one thing I will say and it's hard to take me at my word on this because it is just so self-serving. But one of the interesting things about the big deals, like the 5-year deals and the 4-year deals, and what ends up happening as a result of people doing that is like, I see it time and time again. You know, how many artists, how many photographers do you know that are running out there that go from one website to another website to another website? And because you're not paying anything for the first 3 months and then paying like $29 a month, you have no buying commitment, right? Like it's $29 a month.
Right.
You don't care. You have no commitment to do anything. Let me tell you, when you slap down a couple $1,000 on a 5-year deal, you are going to make this thing work, right? There's no way you throw that. So it's sort of like burning the boats, right? Like you take the boat to the shore, you burn the boat. You're like, okay, I am actually going to do this time. All the rest of those times where I marketed for 2 weeks and quit is not going to be this time. I'm actually going to take my marketing seriously and do it for a long time. So it actually ends up working out in their favor a lot of times.
And another question, I'm an instructor as well as an artist.
Ooh,
and
I love that. What
could I have
what do you teach? What do you teach?
Acrylic paint.
Got it. Yeah. Some of our most successful
I mean,
customers.
I've taught a lot of other things too. I teach some drawing, I teach basics. Yeah.
Yeah. We have some of our customers are killing it teaching painting, and they just throw it as an item.
And they actually sign up for the classes and pay for them on your version of the site. Okay.
Yeah. You just
I didn't see that when I was looking at that. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the whole thing is geared to sell wall art, but it's still just an e-commerce shopping cart at the end of the day too. So
are you guys the ones that are Lampasas, Texas?
What's Lampasas, Texas? I don't know what that is.
I don't know. I got a 512 number coming through, and I'm wondering if that's my follow-up call.
Yeah, that probably is. We used to be based in Austin, and we still, I guess, technically are based in Austin. I've never been in Austin. I've been to Austin, but I live in Southern California. But when the pandemic hit, the office closed down, and I don't think it's coming back. So most of the phone calls come from Austin, but we have a couple guys in California, maybe one guy in Chicago.
Well, I'll have to call him back when I get done.
Yeah. But what I was going to say, so you throw the class, okay, as an item in the store. They buy it. You get the email. They get a private Zoom link day of. You put them all into the Zoom. You teach that way. Love that. Love that as a revenue source. Love it. And you don't have to leave your house.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And my other thing is, will you guys help? Okay. So I would love to have merch or prints, but my main work right now, like I said in there, is multi-panel tile prints that are epoxy. So they're one of a kinds, but would you guys help me kind of think outside the box to figure out how I could make it into merch or prints?
Yeah. Yeah. All day. That's what we do.
And also, I don't know if you've ever heard of this before, but have you ever heard of diamond art? It's a new craze right now. It's kind of like paint by number with little rhinestones.
Paint by number. Well,
it's what got me started.
If I have ever seen something that calls for a Google search, I'm going to need to see that right now.
Yeah, you need to Amazon search it or Google search it. It's called diamond art or diamond painting is what they call it. But like I said, it's paint by number on a sticky canvas with rhinestones.
Yeah, got it. This is like the modern day version of like needlepoint or something. It sort of looks like my mom.
Correct. Yeah, it's like a needlepoint meets.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
But anyway, so what I was going to say is it's what started me on the journey of multi-panel painting, which was first acrylic and now it's the tiles. And so if I could be made into something that could be reproducible, it would be that.
Yes, you totally could.
And so
do you know what would be mega interesting too, by the way? And I always use my buddy here. I showed him in the and this goes right along your line, like, will you help me get creative? Yes. Helping you get creative is what we do. So I want to show you my buddy here. So this guy was like a customer from like day one. And so we become really, really good friends over the years, which is why I always show his stuff. And I've run a bunch of case studies with him. But let me get one that's got like a ton of texture so you can see, I guess they all do. So awesome artist, right? Like incredible work.
Right.
Incredible
I saw his stuff. It was really cool.
But do you see the texture? How crazy it is? Like sometimes it takes like when he finishes a painting, it takes 3 months for these things to dry, right? So what does he do? So the point is that like his business is doing extremely well. He sells very expensive originals, but you can see how it says oil on print here. No one was really buying his prints because you can't translate the pop of the texture into a print. And so you know what he does? He orders a print.
He paints on
on top of it for like,
Yeah, I
12
read that.
minutes, 12 to 15 minutes. So I go back to that diamond art and it's like, okay, what if you took that diamond art and got a print and then figured out a way to festoon a few diamonds on it? Boom. You got the 50-50 going on there, and it's, it's like sort of the hybrid between a print and an original, right?
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Love it. Great questions too. Okay. So that was Nicole. Did you have any more, Nicole? I've still got you unmuted. Or?
No, I think, I had asked earlier, but I don't think you saw it yet. I asked how long it takes from, on average, I know everybody's different because I know it has to do with us, but how long does it usually take to go live?
14 days or less. That's if you have any sort of
okay.
technical acumen whatsoever, right? Like,
If you have any what?
If you have decent technical acumen. If you've never built a website and you suck with computers, then it might take a little bit longer. But like I said, if you get your if you get your back against the wall, we even have a service where they'll do it for you. Obviously you have to pay them to do it for you, but the larger point is like, I want the store up and running in 14 days or less. I don't want to hear any stories. I don't want to hear any excuses. Like, I want you to be able to take credit card immediately and work on the only thing that's actually going to help you, which is marketing.
Is the marketing.
Yeah, driving more traffic. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, yes, Dirk, that's our site. We're going to email it to you after the fact too. Alton, could you please provide the promotion link with the payment options? Yeah, it's in the chat. It's just called a demo request. London, yes, we're following the NFT thing very closely. Have some thoughts, have some opinions on it. Actually, now that I think about it, I can show you if you want to hear. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this whole switching thing. But we have this show, which I'd love to recommend to you guys, called Art Business Mornings, and it's a live show, totally free, broadcast on all the things. But one of the recent episodes, did it get in here? It didn't get in here. It's on YouTube. We have an episode. I'm just going to find it for you. It'll take you just 2 seconds. That the CEO and I did on NFTs, art storefronts, TV, and I'm going to send it to you. And I forgot to unmute Nicole, and I can hear a dog barking. It's all right. My dog barks all the time. Ooh, that's really meta. It's the live of the live. But let me just pull this up, and I'll send it to you, London. I find the NFTs fascinating. I think they portend an amazing future. We think they're an expansion. Why is this loading so slow right now? Come on. Okay. Well, I'll send it to you after the fact. I don't want to waste any more time trying to find it. Nothing's derping out. I don't understand what's going on. Oh yeah, there, did it finally load? I don't know. I'll turn it off. Oh, there we go. So now I can get it. Videos. I have like the fastest connection legally allowable, and it should not be lagging like this, YouTube. Well, anyway, it's going slow. So yes, London, we're aware of them, and I'll send you the follow-up info on it. So Cynthia's asking, and I'm still again trying to get this all going. So how much time do you need for a demo, Cynthia? The actual demo goes an hour, but the pre-call is like 15 minutes. Oh, this is a good question, John. I don't always get time to shoot. So how often is it recommended to add new photos to your site? There's no exact rule, right? Like, you could not add any for an entire year and have a huge, robust business. I think you do what you can, right? Like, it's just as important to feed the Instagram beast as it is to feed, your actual website with new products. So there's a whole bunch of different ways to do it. Okay. And just for you, London, I did find this. I finally did pull up, but it's right there. NFTs, what are they and are the future? Get myself out of there. Are they the future of the art business? So we recorded a whole episode on this. We'll send it to you after the fact, and you can see, not that we are the NFT experts of all NFT experts, but we do have some opinions on it, and definitely find them fascinating. Yeah. Okay, I feel like we covered a lot there. Any other questions before we wrap it up? Anyone, can be about anybody. And Penny, I hope that's the Penny that has been emailing me and not been able to get on. I know I haven't responded to all your emails. I can't. I get so many. There's no way. But I'm really happy to see you on. No, Don, you do not need to be prepared for the demo. It's pretty straightforward. You can just come with this. Bring your mask. Bring your mask, Don. Okay. Get back into the library and bring your mask. I like razzing him for that a little bit. Probably sharing already. Or social distancing in the library already. You don't need a mask. Okay, I think that covers it. Guys, great session today. Thank you. wonderful, good questions. Thoroughly enjoyed it. We're going to email you almost directly after this is over with all of the various different assets and links. And do check out that report, by the way. I think you guys will all, get a really good sort of beat on, it's one thing to hear me say it, right? Like the guy that's trying to sign you up for a program, but like you look at this, and again, you can spend 10 minutes on this and just go to hold on, we'll just do it from scratch. You can just go to this key findings one, right? And they really sexed this particular part of it up. Let me get into it. And so you can just go right into the art fairs and exhibits, or like go into the online sales, and they did a pretty good job making this thing pretty cool, right? So you can see what happened to the art market in 2020. Amazing. The share accounted for by online sales expanded from 9% of total sales volume in 2019 to 25% in 2020, right? Like that is a huge deal. First time the share of e-commerce in the art market has exceeded that of general retail, which is, not too terribly surprising, right? Because in the middle of the pandemic. So we're gonna send that to you guys. It's definitely worth looking at. And yes, Sylvia, I see you in the comments. It's called the Art Market Report, I believe, 2021 from Art Basel. Art Basel, however you say it. So you can just Google it. Everyone else will send it to you. Yeah. All right, guys, thank you. Great session. If there's any other questions, definitely just request a demo and ask those guys. Please bother them, blow their phones up. That's about all I can say. We run them 3 days a week. Love to see you on a future one. And I think on that note, we'll leave it there. Guys, thanks so much. Absolute blast. Hope to see you on the inside or see you on another session. Thanks again.